super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Someone save me!
Someone, anyone, please!
Where am I?
Thank you! Thank you!
Someone save me! Where am I? You be careful too, okay?
You found a power key. Go slot it. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Flying Nimbus!
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. Great! You know what to do with that key.
Is anyone out there? Is anyone out there? You're my savior.
That's a new power key. Place it now.
You're my savior.
An ally needs your help. We don't
Flying
know what
Nimbus!
danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
What's the big idea? Thought I was a goner there.
Kakarot. 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 Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. Kakarot. Kakarot. Kakarot.
Nothing.
Flying Nimbus!
Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Welcome. Thank you. Close. Close.
Kakarot. 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 An ally needs out for enemies.
Bro, go set the key, dog. Holy.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there now. Holy hell. The startup system is starting. Retreat if you need.
Why did this guy transfer?
Super transfer.
Oh, what happened there, bro? Guy was level 2, then he just transferred him to level 4. I don't know what happened.
You die. Trash will all. Kakarot.
And with Goku now being shown having to be taken back by this, as this was the last thing that Goku was expecting to come from Gas now, due to the extreme measures that he was shown going through and overexerting himself just to simply overpower Goku, had now been shown appearing as though he had been fully healed in battle, as with Alec now being shown smiling. That was when, interestingly enough, Alec had then taken upon himself to leap on back and joining the other heaters to watch this, as we only then take a look in seeing as to how with Gas being shown having to slowly but surely raise his arm up in the air, that was when out of nowhere Goku was then shown being choked by Gas, as he was only then shown levitating his body upwards. It only now had appeared as though Gas was looking to strangle Goku to death without even touching him on top of that, as we only then take a look in seeing as to how with Goku being shown having to scream in absolute agony, you can tell that Goku is trying to do everything within his own ability to break free from this, but it appears as though despite Goku's best efforts in trying to move his body, he simply couldn't do so, because with Gas now being shown holding Goku in place, as he then went on to look up at him by smiling, it was only from there where Gas went on to then tell Goku, "Behold as your head twists clean off." Which even then with Goku's body shown shaking as he was desperately trying to place his fingers over his forehead, the only other option for escape was for Goku to try to do his best in using instant transmission to get away, in which Goku from there had barely managed to do so, as he was then shown teleporting away from Gas. As quickly as it happened, we only then take a look in seeing as to how Goku had now appeared behind him, with Goku now being shown closing in as he was attempting to strike Gas. It was only from that point on where Gas had managed to backhand Goku so casually without even having to look at him, which not only had gone as far in stopping Goku in his own tracks, but this one casual backhand to Goku's face was actually strong and effective enough in bringing Goku nearly back down onto his knees, as he was only from there shown holding on to his bloody nose before having to look back up. The very second Goku had done so, in noticing that Gas was no longer in front of him, to Goku's horror, before he could even react, Gas was now being shown having to squat down behind him, as Gas went on to tell Goku, "It's as if every cell in my body is burning away, fueling me. A new flavor of ecstasy." in which only from there, within that very moment, Gas was then shown grabbing onto Goku's skull, and casually from there being shown throwing Goku back, as Goku was shown crashing throughout the Cerulean Forest, as the sheer difference in power between the two now was so evident that Goku was trying to do his best in maintaining himself from flying out any further, in which the very second Goku had assumed that he had escaped, it was only then shown where out of nowhere, he was then all of a sudden caught in a whirlwind-like attack, as his body was shown spinning around over and over and over again, as this too had gone in inflicting massive amounts of damage to Goku's body as Gas was looking to punish Goku. It only from here on out had appeared as though Goku had no chance in doing anything to stop Gas. It was only from that point on where Gas went on to acknowledge Goku by telling him, "You cannot escape this power of mine," as he quickly from there had carried on in firing a blast directly up at Goku. Goku was actually lucky enough in having to avoid this attack, which went on to slice right through his shirt and chest, to where from that point on, Gas was then shown firing multiple energy blasts.
Alright, the next match starts soon.
Where the only other thing that Goku could do at this point was guard himself, as all of these blasts were now beginning to hit him, because with Goku now being trapped in this twister-like attack as he was being fired at from below, the heaters were shown casually observing, with the leg being shown smiling, and with Maki and Oil having a different expression on their face. When it was all said and done, as the twister had subsided, Goku's body was then shown crashing right back down onto the ground, as with everyone now having to observe this, that's when Alec went on to ask, "See? He gets the job done once he starts trying," with Maki responding, "Okay, sure, he's winning, hooray, except something's kind of off about Gas," to where as Gas was then shown grabbing onto Goku's throat and hoisting him up above, Gas then took it upon himself to spawn literally an energy fist right in front of him that he had from there used in punching Goku square in the face, which resulted in Goku's body being shown flying out into the distance, as with the other two heaters having to observe as they themselves have now noticed that something strange was going on. It was only from that point on where Oil went on to comment, "What's with the wrinkly look? He's totally ancient," with Alec responding, "Not to worry, his power is very much intact. In fact," Alec adds, "he's stronger now than ever before." But even then, with Goku now being shown standing back up, Goku is not willing to back down, because that was when Goku went on to respond to Gas by telling him, "Your body and your power are way out of sync. My power has been liberated from my flesh," as he was only then shown kicking Goku up above. Goku from that point on had quickly gone to maintain
Alright guys, let's try to get this done.
Can you hear me? It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Someone! You're a big help.
You found a power key. Go slot it.
I think he's over there.
Someone save me! You be careful too, okay?
That's a new power key. Place it now.
Flying Nimbus!
Great. You know what to do with that key.
Yeah, it's all the way over there.
You're a big help.
Still level 1.
That's a new power key. Place it now.
You're my savior. Flying Nimbus!
Great. You know what to do with that key.
What's the big idea?
Oh, you finished it?
Access the startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done.
This shit even moving?
Ah! Ah!
Welcome. Close.
Just need a few more keys. Give me a large, give me a large.
Holy hell.
Welcome.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Stop running it.
Holy hell.
Come on, guys. Gotta get that shield.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Man. Where's the supplies, bro? Bro, the bubblegum sucks, guys. Whoop his ass.
Can't be. Who can this be?
Pick up the S1. Not bad. All right, let me put back on Granolah arc. It's almost finished.
Balance, and from there being shown dashing right back down below, as we only then take a look in seeing as to how Gas had now gone in spawning 2 gigantic energy fists above him, as he only from there had gone in welcoming Goku's attack by dashing right back at him. It was only with Gas being shown smiling and with Goku looking very serious right before having to collide, they both from that point on had stopped and noticing a random energy blast heading right for them, as they were both from there being shown quick enough in stopping by backing up as the blast went right past them, with everyone including the heaters from that point on having to try to figure out as to where this came from. We only from that point on finally get to see how Granolah had now re-entered the fight yet again, as he was now shown fully healed but also at the same time shown huffing and puffing and trying to catch his breath. Goku at first had appeared to be very happy to see Granolah, as Goku went on to shout, "Granolah!" So whatever Alex says, cocky of him to show up again after refusing to die, in which surprisingly enough the very second Granolah had then gone in dashing back into the fight, instead of going after Gas, Granolah from that point on had quickly gone to punch Goku in the face, which from there had left everyone speechless, especially Gas, as he was trying to figure out as to what the heck was going on. It was only from there as Alec was shown laughing where he went on to respond, "Haha, still holding a grudge against the Saiyans, huh? Smart choice there, Granolah. Kill him for us and maybe I'll toss you your old jobs again." As this exact comment did not go on to appease Gas at all, because with Granolah now being shown having to stand over Goku's body, that was when Granolah had gone in lifting Goku back up by responding, "As I dreamt, I too heard your father's voice," he says. "Now, you need to let me do what I must," Granolah adds. "Are you willing to wager it all on my strength?" As to even he himself was trying to figure out as to what Granolah was doing, we only then see how, to the surprise of Gas and the heaters, how Ultra Instinct Goku and Granolah were now shown standing side by side, with Granolah at that point being shown charging up for his most powerful attack, with the Lek now being shown more annoyed than ever before in assuming the position that Granolah was in fact going to help him. It was only from that point moving forward where Goku went on to tell Granolah, "I'll keep Gas busy until you charge up enough power to bring him
What's up,
down."
Mac?
"Thank you," Granolah says, in which the very moment Granolah had gone in leaping up towards a
Connection
nearby
to the host has
cliffside,
been
a
lost.
furious Gas was then shown dashing right back down at Goku by shouting, "Not on your life!" But even then, despite Gas's overwhelming power having to trump Goku, Goku from there still was shown powering up in dashing right back at Gas to distract him. We only then quickly see how Gas had gone in creating yet another massive energy fist, as he was from there shown punching Goku, with Goku barely being able to grab on and hold on for dear life. So as a response, Goku ended up kicking Gas in what appears to also be that of a key strike, because this also went on to hurt Gas visibly so, because now Gas was angry and now Gas was looking to turn it up even more against Goku, in which he did, because right after initially having to go as far as to spawn his first energy fist, that was when Gas had proceeded to spawn yet another energy fist along with energy legs, and continuously being shown striking Goku until he hit the ground below. That was when Gas quickly followed through by having to stomp directly down on Goku with his gigantic feet, in which literally had gone to create a massive crater with Goku now being embedded within it. But even then, Gas was now shown breathing heavy, he was bleeding from his stomach, and the very second he quickly went to turn his head in noticing as to what Granolah was up to, that was when, to Gas's horror, he had then realized exactly what Granolah was planning, as Gas went on to comment, "No, how is he doing this? How does he still possess such strength?"
Finally made it, bro.
To where that was when Gas had responded by throwing an energy blast directly at Granolah, but it only appeared as though there was a shield that was now protecting Granolah, and this shield had come from none other than Goku. In a similar like fashion to how Goku had protected Vegeta, that was when Goku went on to tell Gas, "Guess what? Nobody's given up on beating you down." And Gas was pissed, because from there he ended up firing even more energy blast at Goku, which had gone to rain down upon him, as Goku was shown screaming. There was nothing for him that he could have done at that point, because essentially enough, he was already in the ground. Gas was just virtually blasting him over and over and over again, until that was when Gas's body was shown having to break down little by little as he was shown shaking, as Granolah went on to respond, "No, not yet. yet. I'm not ready yet. But even despite being very exhausted, that was when Gas had gone to now redirect his attention at Granolah by telling him, what a shame. But before he could do anything to Granolah, it was only from there where out of nowhere, Vegeta had rammed his way into the fight by headbutting Gas and throwing him off his game, which not only had resulted in both of them having to go down, but that was when Vegeta had gone to turn his head by shouting, any day now, charge up fast or else. Vegeta. Oh, let's help him out, Oil Maki says, to where even the Heaters now had tried to intervene by jumping in to help Gas, but then it was almost as though hell had frozen over because now Monaito was shown having to intervene by telling them, you're not getting past me. Listen, Maki says, no generic green old man is gonna stop us, but then before she could finish, that was when Monaito had proven himself to be actually useful in this story
Still in the
because
lobby,
the second
7
he
out
had
of 8.
gone and sticking his
So,
arms out
match
and
should start
putting
soon.
both of them to sleep, that was when Monaito went on to comment, hypnosis is my one and only combat skill. Almost ready, Granolah? I sure am, Granolah says. I've charged up way more energy than he could possibly handle, he says. To where all the while in the meantime, we then see how Gas had managed to stand back up, but it was Vegeta who was grabbing onto him and trying to hold him in place, because the entire point of this was to have Gas remain in place for Granolah to fire his attack with, but the second Gas was then shown throwing Vegeta on over to the side, that was when Alec went on to comment, you wouldn't. Firing that blast near the ground would destroy planet Sorel, the home you hope to protect. But it was only then, as Goku had appeared to be knocked out during the course of this engagement, where Goku had managed to tap into his own subconscious, and from there being shown reigniting his massive gigantic key hologram, aka the Susanoo, as this itself had appeared now behind Gas, with Gas not even having to be aware of it. This was in fact the first time Goku had gone to do this since battling against Planet Moro in the previous arc, in which the very second Gas had stopped and turning around to see this, that's when Gas went on to ask, well, what now? But then, before he could do anything about it, that was when Goku's massive key hologram had gone in grabbing onto him and holding him in place, in which during that point, Gas was desperately shown trying to struggle in breaking free, but he couldn't, in which as we only then see how Goku's gigantic key hologram was then shown winding his arm back and getting ready to throw Gas, with Granolah then being shown having to charge up for his most powerful attack behind him. Goku from that point moving forward was not shown having to waste any more time, because the very second Goku's massive Susanoo-like hologram had gone in throwing Gas up in the air, Gas was from there shown being launched up so high that he almost went out of orbit, and from that point on being shown lingering above the planets as Granolah was charging up for this attack. Granolah from that moment on had known that he had Gas locked in his sights, as Granolah went on to shout, damn it, my eyes still damaged, my vision's all blurry. Allow me to assist with aiming, Oatmeal adds. Oatmeal. A bit higher, Oatmeal responds. Do it, Vegeta shouts. Granolah, shoot! As with Granolah finally having to lock onto his target, that's when Oatmeal went on to shout, there! Fire! And that was when Granolah had not wasted any more time by launching this gigantic attack up at Gas, to where as Granolah was shown putting everything, his heart, his soul, everything that made him who he was into this attack, the very second we then see how he had gone to fire this thing above, the only thing at that point that Gas could have done was look down in absolute horror, as he could do nothing to prevent this from hitting him, as with the massive explosion then seen having to rock the entire planet, we only then see how Granolah had grabbed onto Goku and Vegeta in making sure that they weren't blown away, as this attack was so powerful that virtually nobody else could have survived it, which was what Granolah was aiming for, to where finally as we then see how Maki and Oil had woken back up, that's when Maki went on to ask, what just happened? Where's Gas? Has he done it? Vegeta asks. He sure has, Goku responds, to where even then with Oatmeal finally locking onto Gas and noticing that his body was in fact having to descend on down back onto the planet, the very moment Gas's body had then gone to hit the ground, that's when Granolah went on to tell the Heaters, I didn't kill him. I'm not out for revenge anymore, not against anyone. But Gas will be out cold for a few days, so take him and leave. Never darken our doorstep again. Which at this point the Heaters had no other choice but to do exactly that, to where as Goku and Vegeta were then shown slowly approaching Granolah, that's when Goku went on to respond, respond, "That was wild, Granolah. I'm sorry for everything," Granolah responds. "It's a little too late for that," Vegeta says, as we only then see how a friendship and union was born, with Gas's body shown lodged deep within a crater, as it was only then where Dragon Ball Super manga chapter
match is
number
taking so
86
long,
then
dog.
comes to a close. Now, you can make no mistake about the fact that without question thus far, Gas seems to be one of the most difficult oppositions that Goku and Vegeta have ever come across, and there were many elements to this manga chapter that made this fight specifically stand out, to where you can kind of almost feel for our heroes in wanting to get this over and done with, by seeing Granolah go as far as to launch his most powerful attack, to see Goku actually execute his gigantic key hologram following the events of Gas's beatdown, just for the sake of working together in doing whatever it needed to take to finally put Gas down, and even going as far as to see Alex's frustrations now begin to manifest onto the surface. We only from that point on now move on to the final Dragon Ball Super manga chapter within the story of the Granolah arc, which is that of manga chapter number 87, as all three, Vegeta, Goku, and Granolah, now shown visibly exhausted. It was only from there where Goku went on to comment, "Our training wasn't enough in the end," with Vegeta
Alright,
responding,
we
"What a
found a match.
pathetic
She's starting in about 2
victory,
minutes."
never again. I'll hone my technique until I can prove myself superior to you." "Me lose to you?" Goku asks. Not gonna happen. But then, as soon as they noticed Granolah collapsing on down to the ground in trying to get up, that was when Goku and Vegeta had quickly gone to rush towards his aid by asking, "What's wrong?" I'm fine." "Did that final attack really take that much out of you?" Vegeta asks. "Yeah, it's a move that is fueled by my very life," Granolah says. "I'm betting it shortened my lifespan even more." "What?" Goku asks. "I only have 3 years to live. That was the price that I paid to become the strongest in the universe." "Why'd you go and do a crazy thing like that?" Goku asks. "I suppose the same applies to Gas?" "Probably," Granolah says, "though I don't know how many years he's been left with." "Granolah, let me take a look at your wounds," Monaito went on to quickly chime in, as with Monaito now being shown making his way towards Granolah and doing the best within his own ability to try to heal him. Monaito was never actually known in being a Namekian that was able to heal anyone fully, until it came to the sudden shock of Monaito as he was healing Granolah during this process, where Monaito had stopped and looking at his hands as Goku went on to then comment, "What's up? Did you use your powers too much and now you can't heal?" "It's fine, just don't knock yourself out. I'll heal on my own time," Granolah responds. "That
Shout out to
isn't
everyone
it,"
watching. Hope you're having a good night.
responds. "Actually, I'm
Match is about to
feeling
begin.
like I could bring you
get this
back to
W.
full strength," to where it was only within that moment where Monaito had now gone as far as to finally do something useful within the story.
That's an OG. Good to see some old players came back. They're still playing.
Can you hear me?
Flying
It's Trunks.
Nimbus!
I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then
Yeah, I was
place
about to
them
go
in the
that way.
right spots.
Holy hell.
Flying Nimbus!
Oh man.
Ally down!
Maybe
If you
it was a
intend to
good idea
rescue
we didn't
them,
go that way.
Watch out for enemies. A super transfer is headed your way. Take it now.
You're my savior.
Better be.
ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. You found a power key. Go slot it.
Thank you so much.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Flying Nimbus!
You're whooping ass. Damn, I missed some. Bro, where's this woman?
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Gotcha.
Are you here to save me?
Flying Nimbus! Someone!
That's a new power key.
The good thing this guy was here, because I was never gonna find that.
Thanks.
I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back. Great! You know what to do with that key.
Oh, man.
Gotta play it smart right now. Gotta stay alive. Up to me.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. the startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done.
Probably gonna save that civilian.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Yo, what's up, Ivory?
I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them.
Time to hide.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
I lagged, I think.
I've sent a new super transmitter.
Sure, no problem.
Sorry, that'll have to do for now. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
I honestly don't even know how I got hit. I just dropped dead.
Am I up to this task?
Oh, he went up. Alright, I'll post the room key. Hopefully you get something good. Anything you're looking for in particular? Any passives or actives?
and now finally being shown having to go as far as to heal Granolah fully, in which even with Granolah now being shocked by this as he went on to touch his chest and look around, it was clear as day even to the others that Granolah was now fully healed by the hands of Monaito versus having to be partially healed, to where even within that very moment with Granolah now having to acknowledge this, Monaito then begins the process of having to heal Goku, as he then followed up by doing the same thing to Vegeta. So now everyone is back to full health, everyone's strength is now fully restored, and it seemingly now appears as though everything is going according to plan, as Vegeta from there went on to comment, "It's true, my energy is restored." Who would have thought my powers would have ripened at this age, Monaito asks. Maybe from all of the healing I've done lately? That's great, Goku says. Oh, I wish I could have used this full healing power sooner. Oh, well, it is what it is. But then, in the distance, as Alec had gone to oversee this, that was when Alec went on to comment, "Sir, how was I so off the mark? The universe's strongest? What a total scam. The joke's on me for trusting in those Dragon Balls." In which, as soon as Alec's ship was then shown arriving,
jealous.
that
I
was
wish
when
I
Alec
had
went
that.
on to respond, "Open the hatch.
That's good.
We're getting out of here."
I don't have that
As
one
the
yet.
very
Super
second
Saiyan
he had gone and making his way towards the ship, that was when Vegeta had gone and looking on over by responding, "Look, he's fleeing on his own? Hey,
have,
Alec,"
Frieza's
Goku
death ball.
shouts. "You're leaving your
That's the
own
next best
family
thing. That's my level
behind?"
one.
"Shut up," Alec responds. "There's no time to lose. Besides, any minute now, Gas is going to..." But it was only within that very moment, unbeknownst to our heroes, while they had their back turned, where we only then see how a straight energy blast had managed to penetrate and go right through Monaito's chest, as surprisingly enough, with Granolah, Vegeta, and Goku now being shown having to be caught off guard, this was the absolute last thing that either one of them had ever expected to go down, because as Monaito from there was shown getting shot off the cliff and now making his way back down onto the ground, it now became very clear to all parties there that in fact the fight was not over, because someone now decided to interject themselves once again in shooting a defenseless Monaito, all while they were distracted, in which the very second all three had managed to turn their heads in looking back to see who had done this, it was only to everyone's horrifying shock to see that Gas was in fact now still alive, on top of the fact that Gas now had evolved even more so than how he did before, because not only did all of the wounds on his body heal, on top of having his horns regrow, but essentially enough it looked as though Gas right now had sacrificed even more so of his lifespan to get even stronger than how he was before, because with Gas now being shown pointing his finger out, that's when Goku went on to shout, "Gas? But how? No more interest in revenge?" Gas asks. "Is that what you said, Granolah? Oh, how about now? Still sticking to that soft-hearted claim?" And Granolah is pissed, but Granolah has no time to fight Gas, as he then made his way towards Monaito, as the very moment Vegeta had gone as far as to jump back into Ultra Ego, with Goku now being shown jumping back into Ultra Instinct, neither of the two Saiyans were looking to waste any more time by now going out of their way to put Gas down for good, as they were both now being shown dashing directly towards Gas, with Gas being shown having to extend his arms. It was only upon having to now bring his hands closer together by using telekinesis, where Gas from there had managed to grab onto both Goku and Vegeta and smash them into one another, as neither of the two were expecting for this to happen, as Gas from there had gone as far as to knock them both back down onto the ground. It was clear as day now, despite having to be at full strength, where both Goku and Vegeta knew exactly what they needed to do, as they quickly went on to maintain balance by dashing back at Gas, as we only from there see how Ultra Instinct Goku was actually able to hit Gas with such tremendous amounts of force that he was only from there able to not only shatter Gas's horn again, but if you look closely enough, Goku had actually now managed to punch skin off of Gas's face, in which Vegeta had also from that point had gone as far as to capitalize on this, because with Vegeta also now being shown kicking Gas in the face before having to then kick him up in the air, Ultra Ego Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku were now being shown getting ready to unleash the Gallic Gun and the Kamehameha, with Gas's body being shown having to fly upwards, with pieces of his left face now being shown missing. It was only from that point where Gas quickly went on to stabilize himself in sticking his arms out in unleashing a gigantic blast at Goku and Vegeta, to where even they themselves, before even having the opportunity to fire the Gallic Gun and the Kamehameha, were shocked, because the blast itself, as it was beginning to emanate from Gas, was so large charge that it ultimately overtook Goku and Vegeta completely, and now establishing the fact that yes, despite both of them having to be fully healed and at full power now, it still appears as though that even despite all of that, Gas is still stronger than the both of them, to where as Gas was shown having to fire the attack simultaneously from there at the same time, Gas had managed to speed blitz his way through his own blast in making his way towards Goku and Vegeta, which to Gas's credit was a brilliant strategy enough to go as far as to blind them momentarily and move with such precision that neither of them were able to pick up on, because the moment Gas was then shown kicking both of them in the face, he immediately then proceeded to leap on backwards as the two were now shown dropping on down to the ground, because it was the very moment as both of them had gone to hit the pavement below, Gas ended up landing.
We almost got a W last match, so hopefully we get another one this one.
Can you hear me? It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
You have my thanks.
You're welcome.
You found a power key. Go slot it.
Anyone out there? You're my savior.
Welcome.
I'll let him have that one. You want it? No? Okay. I was gonna give him the civilian, but
Someone.
That's a new power key. Place it now.
You're my savior.
Flying Nimbus! Great! You know what to do with
lucky
that key.
guess.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got power to it.
Welcome. Oh, welcome. Thank you.
Flying Nimbus! You've got all 7 Dragon Balls. Summon Shenron at the altar. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Got the heck out of there.
I'm an android. Great! You know what to do with that key.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna try to save this guy. bro. We're just gonna go beat up Cell.
The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there now.
Someone has a Dragon Ball, so hopefully they don't go down.
The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need
Flying
to.
Nimbus!
Got it?
God, this takes forever.
Consider it done.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. Here comes the pain! Exercise restraint if you're going to help them. Help!
Good game, guys.
No one does this to me!
Alright, I put the room key. If anyone else wants to join, feel free.
Safely on the ground as he from there went on to look on by responding. He dove right into his own energy blast, Goku says. It's like he doesn't even care about taking damage. Sheer madness, Vegeta responds. It's like we're fighting something that's already dead. Monaito, no, you can't die, Granolah shouts. It's fine, Granolah. My life should have ended 40 years ago. My only duty since then was raising you right, but You don't need me anymore. Of course I need you. Thank you, Granolah. Spending the last of my long years with you was more than I could have asked for. No! Don't give up, Granolah shouts. I can't let you die. I won't let you die. But as soon as we then go back to Goku, who was then shown having to kick Gas directly in the arm, it would only appear as though Goku's kick now had significantly damaged Gas, or at least that's how it appeared, because the very second Goku was then shown breaking away, in noticing how Gas's arm was literally now being shown falling apart, what Gas ended up doing as a response was from there being shown clinching onto his fist and punching Goku directly in the head, which subsequently enough resulted in Goku falling back, with Vegeta being shocked at the overall situation, because it didn't even appear as though anything that they were doing was beginning to work on Gas, because essentially enough, Gas was already falling apart. There were pieces of his bicep missing, there were parts of his face missing, and all the while as Gas was shown standing there and laughing in their face, we only then take a look and seeing as to how with Goku now being shown getting back up, that's when Goku went on to comment, damn, how's that arm of his still even moving? Or it's like a curse, Vegeta says. Cursed to be the strongest in the universe. Yes, good. Here we go, Alex shouts. Get them! Go on, Gas. You'll be the strongest of all up until the last second you die. Kill them! Kill, kill, kill! But then, out of nowhere, that was when his own family had then gone as far as to step forward in blocking his view, as Maki went on to shout, "Quit it, Alec! Look at him! That isn't normal! Let's get out of here! This is a battle that we can put off winning!" But then, Alec quickly had gone as far as to interject by slapping Maki and telling her, "Shut up!" To where as soon as Maki was shockingly enough then shown stumbling onto oil, that's when Alec went on to continue, "I told you, there won't be a next time! Gas's lifespan is about to run out. Making him far and away the strongest in the universe meant sacrificing that much of his life." In which as soon as Gas himself had now gone as far as to overhear this while he was on top of Goku, it almost even appeared as though this was the first time that even Gas himself had now learned about this, as Gas comments, "I'm dying? Alec, that's messed up," Maki says. To where as soon as Gas had gotten up off of Goku and leaned on over into the water to see his reflection, this was in fact the first time that Gas had now visibly seen what he'd look like, as Gas responds, "My face! Why? Stop screwing around, Gas! Kill them now! Quick! At least make yourself useful to me in your final moments, you worthless scum! Waste any more time and before we know it, he's gonna." But then, unbeknownst to everyone from the heavens above, as he was only then shown making his way down in landing on planet Sorel, we finally then see the reintroduction of Frieza within the Dragon Ball Super manga, as there was literal silence that had echoed all around the planet as Goku, Vegeta, Granolah, Alec, Maki, Oil, and even Gas stood in absolute silence for a moment, because nobody at that point, minus Alec, could have possibly ever guessed or foreseen Frieza now making his way in, arriving onto the planet itself, in which even when Gas was then shown slowly turning around and going as far as to acknowledge him, before Frieza had even taken the liberty to stand fully back up by even lifting his head, you can almost feel the fear emanating from Frieza, as Frieza went on to respond, "It's been some time, Gas." Frieza, Goku says, "Why is he here? I understand you have some business with me. What might that be?" he asks. I'm going to kill you, Gas shouts. To where as soon as Gas was then shown giving it his all in making his way towards Frieza, with Frieza being shown smiling, it was only within the blink of an eye where out of nowhere Frieza had gone as far as to now make his move, and he did this by speed blitzing right in front of Gas, and from there being shown having to completely impale him, which mind you, if you stop and pay close enough attention, Frieza is actually doing this while in his final form, so
Time machine, as well as a crate of supplies.
Damn, what happened?
Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Thanks.
You found a power key. Go slot it. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. That's a new power key. Place it now.
Gotta be on the lookout. Make sure none of these civilians start running.
Welcome. Thank you.
Well, how the heck did
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Oh, frick.
You're done!
Oh, he got me.
You bastard!
Got caught slipping. Bro, it's that stupid ass ice wall, bro. I was trying to get to that power key, but the ice wall was too long.
Right now!
Get my cat in my body.
Give me a break.
This is bad! Somebody's down!
I have a wondrous gift for you.
Yo, what's up, Super Saiyan?
Flying Nimbus! You serious?
Yeah, Mac, that super spare bomb, I think it kills the Cybermen one hit.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemy.
That's just trash. We lost Goku. Gosh, your Wi-Fi's KO, bro.
waiting for this player to come back. In the meantime, you guys can add a room key if you want to play.
I think you have to wait till I's finish. Once she comes back. Okay, right. In the meantime, between time.
Frieza didn't even have to transform in order to get the job done, and everybody from Goku to Vegeta to Maki to Oil and to even Elec, everyone stood in absolute shock as to what they were seeing, because nobody would have ever suspected to see something like this actually happen, in which even Gas himself had no response to this, as he himself was also in a state of shock, to where by the very end, once it was all said and done with Frieza shown laughing, it was only within that very moment as Frieza had done this, where Gas's body was from there shown completely deteriorating as his skin was beginning to fall off the bone. This had now marked the official end of Gas as his lifespan came to an end, as essentially by the very end of it, once there was nothing left outside of just skull and bones, as not a single word was uttered as this was happening. We only from there see the remnants of Gas's bones having to completely surround Frieza's body, with Frieza shown casually dusting himself off as he went about by ripping Gas apart, in which to add even more disrespect and insult to injury as Frieza was shown approaching his skull, we only from there see how Frieza had gone about by placing his foot on top of Gas's skull, and from there being shown creating
Alright, you guys should see it now. Try if it works. Yo, Super Saiyan, you coming?
No answer.
getting enough pressure to completely smash his skull into pieces, it was very clear by now that a message was in fact sent to everybody, as even Elec himself could not believe this, with Frieza then being shown redirecting his focus in addressing Elec. That's when Frieza went on to respond, "Elec, you're the one who contacted me, so once again, I ask, what is your business with me?" Gas was... he just in one blow? No way, Goku says. Unless you had a legitimate reason for summoning me, Frieza continues, you're going to be quite sorry you did. We got our wires crossed, that's all, Elec responds. No business deal today, I'm afraid, so we're so very sorry. Crossed wires, huh? Let me guess. You meant to have Gas kill me. I have bad news for you then. It looks like Gas is dust in the wind. And as soon as Frieza had then gone as far as to speed blitz towards him, Elec at that point was absolutely terrified as Frieza went on to continue, "I've known all about your ambitions these past 40 years. I knew, and I let you scurry around all while exploiting you for my army's benefit." No way. You new? Why, there isn't a single thing in this universe I'm not privy to, Frieza responds. For example, the fact that the weakest of the heaters is you. To which, with even Maki and Oil having to overhear this as they themselves could not believe it, it was only within that very moment, for the first time within the Granolah arc, where instead of using his gun as a means of getting the job done, Alec had gone as far as to shoot his shot in throwing the first ever punch that he did within the story, only for it to backfire, with Frieza being shown casually grabbing onto his fist in responding in his own way by them being shown sticking his arm out, as Alec knew exactly what was about to happen, to where Frieza from that point on was not looking to waste any more time, because with one casual blast that spelled the end of Alec, it was now official that both Gas and Alec were now destroyed by Frieza, with the dust now being shown settling on in. Maki and Oil are in absolute shock. They could not believe that Frieza had now gone as far as to do this, with both of them being shown dropping on down as Maki fainted, and with Oil now being scared. Instead of now shifting his focus to both Maki and Oil, what Frieza had now done instead was, as Frieza had gone as far as to turn his head and looking out into the distance, it was only then where Frieza had gone as far as to now spot both Goku and Vegeta standing side by side, with even both Goku and Vegeta themselves looking very tense and nervous at the overall situation. It would only appear as though both of them had gone as far as to remain calm but focused at the same time, as it was only then where Frieza went on to address Goku and Vegeta by telling them, "Why, if it isn't you two, it seems the gang's all here." "Frieza, how'd you manage to kill Gas?" "How, you ask?" "Gas had become the strongest warrior in the universe," Vegeta shouts. "By all rights, he should have been far stronger than you," with Frieza responding, "In this universe, you mean? Oh, of course. I've been spending some time in another dimension, you see, so perhaps I wasn't being counted as part of this universe." What other dimension?" Goku asks. "One of my many conquered worlds," Frieza responds. "I happened to come across a chamber where time flows differently than in the outside world." "A room of spirit and time?" Vegeta shouts. "There I was able to squeeze in 10 years worth of training." And the Saiyans are shocked, as they both went on to respond, It can't be. I couldn't very well keep up losing to Saiyans my whole life, so I needed a bit of a power-up." "A power-up?" Goku asks, which by no stretch of the imagination was Frieza bluffing in the slightest, because the very moment Frieza had gotten into position in getting ready to now reveal the fruits of his training spent within this realm, it was only right then and there, to the horrifying shock of both Goku and Vegeta, where Frieza had now gone as far as to reveal his brand new ultimate black transformation, which was the absolute last thing that our heroes needed to see, especially when having to fight off against two of the so-called strongest warriors in the universe, as with Frieza now left smiling as Goku and Vegeta are trying to process as to what they're looking at. It was just as Frieza had gone as far as to transform, where Frieza went on to tell them, "Meet Black Frieza. Achieving this form took plenty of toll, I'll have you know." No way! And Frieza was not bluffing, because the very second Black Frieza had then gone out of his way in dashing directly towards Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta were left with no other choice than to now use Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego as a means of countering Black Frieza, but with how fast Black Frieza was seemingly
Charles, what's up?
traveling, it almost appeared as though our heroes were not able to keep up, because Frieza at that point knew that he had the upper hand, because the second he from there managed to get in between them, and from there being shown having to strike them both in the stomach, Frieza from that point made sure to connect a very heavy shot that ultimately had gone as far as to now demonstrate the difference between them in literally one-shotting both of them, as both Goku and Vegeta did not see Frieza coming, because right after initially having to connect with these strikes and making his way back down onto the ground, by the time Frieza had gone as far as to even turn around, Goku and Vegeta were in absolute pain, and from there also now being shown having to go as far as to knock them out of both Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, to where, mind you, we're not talking about a partial
Right now we're just
healed
waiting for the
Goku
next
and
match to
Vegeta.
start.
No, in fact,
We're playing
they were
Dragon Ball
both
The
fully
Breakers.
healed before Frieza had initiated, to where even from there, with Frieza now being shown having to revert back down to his base final form, it was only as Goku and Vegeta were laying there where Frieza went on to comment, "While you two were having fun on this puny planet, I managed to surpass you." And the moment Frieza's ship had arrived, that's when he went on to continue, "But I came here in pursuit of a different targets, so I'll let the two of you off easy today. But even then, with Frieza shown leaving, he then went on to spot Maki and Oil by telling them, you two, you wouldn't happen to have any plans after all of this. As it happens, my ship could use a cook and a waiter. Whoa, we'll take the jobs, please, and thanks, Maki says. Yes, follow me, he says. Yes, sir. In which, sinisterly enough, with Frieza now being shown leaving with Maki and Oil, Goku and Vegeta were now finally shown standing back up as they were trying to do their best in catching their breath, as despite the overall situation with everything that just went down, Granolah stood loyal next to Monaito and did not leave his side despite what had just happened. It was only from there where both Goku and Vegeta had gone as far as to see this, with Goku having to respond, is Monaito gonna make it? Oh, it's bad. He's not breathing, Granolah says. As despite Granolah's best efforts in trying to do the best that he can to do anything that he possibly could to bring Monaito back to life, as Monaito's body laid there, it was only from out of nowhere all of a sudden Monaito's eyes just suddenly shot open to where nobody had understood as to what had just happened, because Monaito had in fact died. But now all of a sudden Monaito is sitting up, Granolah is also now putting this into question, and before you know it, as soon as both Goku and Vegeta had gone as far as to turn their heads, the individual that was responsible in bringing Monaito back to life was none other than Whis. As with everyone shocked and not believing that Whis had now arrived on planet Sorel, it was only from there where Whis went on to respond, this one seemed to be a friend of yours, Goku, so just this once as a special favor, he says. Wow, thanks, Whis. I see. It's finally over. It was a little too close for comfort this time. Who's this, Monaito asks. Whis. An angel, Vegeta responds. An angel? Might I ask for the two of you to return with me straight away, Whis says. Lord Beerus can't figure out how to make instant soup. Sure, Goku says. Just pour boiling water into it. Done. Hey, do you want to come train with us on Lord Beerus's planet, Granolah? With Granolah responding, I'll have to decline. I've made a mess of this
still
planet,
7 out of 8.
so I need to fix the damage with the Dragon Balls. That's right, Monaito responds. Then I'll seal them away for good. This planet doesn't need them anymore anyway. Oh, okay, Goku says. That's a shame, but it's your choice. In that case, you'll be wanting this, Vegeta goes on to tell Granolah. What is this? With Vegeta responding, the radar Maki dropped earlier. It'll trivialize your search for the Dragon Balls. Oh, that'll help us for sure. Thanks, Granolah says. Oh, well, I guess we're heading out, Vegeta, but that's when Monaito went on to tell Goku, hang on, son of Bardock, you can't forget this. To which, as soon as Goku was from there shown extending his hand and taking the scouter that Monaito had now given him, Goku from that point was shown curiously staring at the scouter screen and now seeing Bardock's face, his father, for the first time, which is a very subtle moment for someone like Goku to finally realize what his dad actually looked like, to where even though they are identical, this was a very important moment for Goku, only because now he finally had the opportunity to see what his father looked like. Goku's immediate response upon having to see this was to smile, as Whis went on to comment, well, shall we? Yeah, Goku says. See you around, Granolah. Monaito, thanks for everything, Son Goku and Vegeta. Come visit Earth if the urge hits to do battle with a Saiyan, Vegeta says. I welcome the challenge. Sure, but I'll be sure to win this time, Granolah says. That's a good attitude, Vegeta responds. Well, off we go then. Farewell, new friends. In which the very moment Whis, Goku, and Vegeta had now made their way off of planet Sorel and now making their way onto Beerus's planet, it was only from there where Goku went on to then ask Whis, you know, the Oracle Fish mentioned the strongest warrior in the universe. Was it actually talking about Frieza? Perhaps, Whis responds, or maybe the strongest warrior emerged elsewhere in our universe. Really? I guess I'd better get back to training. Wonderful, Whis responds. I expect you to put in the efforts. After we help with Beerus, of course, that is. To where it was only from there, with our heroes now finally being shown having to leave planet Sorel, it was only right then and there during that moment where Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 87 then concludes the Granolah arc. Now, despite one's overall bias in feeling the way they feel about the Granolah arc, there were undoubtedly many things that the Granolah the Survivor arc had done well, but at the same time, there were also many things that the arc had fumbled on and fully having to execute in a proper way, because from start to finish when looking at the overall narrative, the Granolah the Survivor arc was mainly focused on expanding the overall narrative of not only characters such as Goku and Vegeta in seeing their evolution throughout the story, but the arc itself primarily focused more on Granolah himself more so than anybody else, in not only telling the tale of revenge, sorrow, retribution, and creating more depth for the overall character himself and giving him that much more of a reason for many people to look at Granolah as a character objectively to say that they sympathize with the character and they kind of understand as to where he was coming from. But there were many tropes about this arc, such as the overall progression of the transformations from characters like Goku and Vegeta, that ultimately felt as though they led to absolutely nothing, considering the overall fact with Ultra Ego being the first new transformation introduced within the arc. It almost kind of felt as though it wasn't needed, because even though Ultra Ego Vegeta versus Granolah was a really enjoyable and fun fight, as a lot of people had at the time originally assumed that Vegeta was going to get the victory over Granolah, it was ultimately a letdown for the concept and utilization of Ultra Ego, only for Granolah to kind of bounce back in making Ultra Ego seem as though it really wasn't that big of a deal or important to begin with, which is why I feel as though Ultra Ego could have been executed in this arc a lot better than what we've seen, which also includes early on
I don't know what's going on tonight. Servers are trash.
Ultra Instinct Goku, only to kind of see Goku battle against a clone for the original to then step in one-shotting Goku in the heart and nearly killing him, in later having to see Goku bounce back within the battle against Granolah and even against Gas, only to be shown using Super Saiyan Blue and nothing more for X amount of time, was a really big letdown, only because in the arc prior we understood that at the time Goku had definitively mastered Ultra Instinct courtesy of his training with Maris, which was a proxy even confirmed by Whis to suggest that yes, even though Goku had mastered Ultra Instinct, there were still many levels introduced in this arc that the Angels have that hone Ultra Instinct better than how Goku is honing it currently right now, in being at the very bottom of the ladder with the Grand Priest, being at the very top of being able to wield Ultra Instinct better than any other angel or mortal being that seemingly may possess the power and technique of that of Ultra Instinct. But in this arc here, we really didn't get to see much of that, which was a real letdown. However, the overall battles itself involving Super Saiyan God Goku versus Granolah, Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Granolah, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus Granolah's clone, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta versus Granolah, Ultra Ego Vegeta versus Granolah, Gas versus Granolah, Full Powered Granolah versus Gas, Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Gas. The fights itself, I would argue to say, were very intense and very long drawn out, which if you stop and pay attention to each individual battle as they were all seemingly different in nature in how Granolah approached each situation, which is what I believe made the arc that much more enjoyable, because when you look at concepts such as Goku versus Granolah and compare that to Vegeta versus Granolah, objectively speaking, both of these fights took very different approaches in how they were handled, in being that much more different than how they were the same, which is why it goes without question that the fights in this arc were very well handled and very much well enjoyed by the fandom as the story had progressed, which at the same time, despite there being a secondary identical wish in making Gas the new strongest of Universe 7, what I found to be more interesting about Gas than any other individual presently there was the overall concept and idea that Gas simply wasn't a regular warrior, but instead he was a weapon-wielding, weapon-crafting warrior in being able to spawn literally any weapon that he wanted, in further having to use that in battle by spawning swords and mallets, chains, and spears, which as a whole did make Gas stand out that much more.
Go, guys.
Can you hear me? It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Flying Nimbus!
headed your way. Take it now.
You guys can take that chance here if you want.
You found a power key. Go spot it.
Flying Nimbus!
That's a new power key. Place it now. Great. You know what to do with that key.
I'm scared.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
What's the big idea? Thought I was a goner there. Flying Nimbus!
I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back. That's a new power key. Place it now. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Flying Nimbus! Get on it! Uh-oh.
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Okay, let me try to save this key. No one went for the level 3? No chance for is right there, guys. Guy's camping my body.
Serious? Kaioken! This is it!
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them,
Mac.
watch out for enemies. Access the startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done. I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them. The startup system's under attack. It's dangerous, so tread carefully if you want to get closer. I've sent a new super transfer. Sorry, that'll have to do for now. The startup system is under attack.
Oh yeah.
Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
There's no
the
chance.
startup system's destroyed. The escape time machine's almost prepped. You need to head for the beacon that's indicated by
This
a
guy's
blue
slow.
light.
Uh-oh.
Ally needs your help. I've sent the escape time machine. Use it to get out
guy's
of there.
sold and left the
The
man there.
escape time machine is back. Whenever you have a beacon, you can call it again.
Let's do this!
Go. I swear, Goku comes out working for me, bro. Put him back on Bulma's strength.
Bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Uh-oh.
I respect it.
Watch the entire Zikor arc.
You're watching Unrelent Gaming. This is Beerus, the God of Destruction.
On those who had sealed him off for many. As we kick off the Beyond Dragon Ball AF Story of Zikor's Revenge manga chapter number 1 special, with Zikor shown having to finally be freed from the Z-Sword in which he was sealed in, there is no question that Zikor is seeking to get revenge on those who had sealed him off for many months now, and with Zikor shown how to stare at his hands, he then went along to comment, "My body, I'm freed. How long was I sealed away for? Curse those disgusting creatures and their cheap tricks." As he then further went along to power up, Zikor then continues, "How dare you imprison a god? Your acts of rebellion will be paid." And with Krillin, Vegeta, and Trunks looking on, Trunks further added by commenting, "What in the world? His power. It's mind-boggling."
Right.
With Krillin chiming in, "What terrifying energy. In all my years of doing this, I've never felt anything like this guy before. What do we do now?" And with Vegeta casually having to approach Zikor, he then addressed everyone by telling them, "Stand aside. I'll take care of this myself. If all else, I need you to remain where you are in case you both are needed." Which I doubt, and with Zikor still shown having to stare at his hands, he then comments, "My power seems to remain intact. I will crush each and every single one of them for what they've done." But then, as soon as Vegeta
Yo, Super
finally
Saiyan, you trying to
approaches
play?
Zikor, he then went along to address Zikor by telling him, "So, you're still alive. And here I thought you'd break out of that sword a lot sooner than you did. So much for being the mightiest life form, huh? Well then, this is where it ends. For you, that is. I haven't forgotten about what you've done to me, so don't assume you're going to be skipping over me to fight the others. I've got some unfinished business to settle with you, hybrid. Now what's it going to be? Shall I beat you into submission, or blast you into a million pieces? Your move," with Zikor responding, "Ah, Vegeta, still as prideful as before. I assume you still haven't learned your lesson from before. I am going to enjoy having you as my first victim since being released. I hope you're ready for the beating you have coming. I can see that nothing's really changed with you, so I'm going to enjoy turning you into my first victim along with your pathetic friends." But that's when Vegeta went along to point out behind him by telling Zikor, "They have nothing to do with any of this, Zikor. They're just here to watch the fireworks, so therefore, you will not do anything to harm them." "What?" says Zikor. "Who said I'd be taking orders from you, Vegeta? Once I'm done tossing you into the trash, I am going to take my sweet time in killing your friends one by one. That's assuming that you'd even get past me to begin with," says Vegeta. "I'm not the same fighter I was before when I fought you, so this fight isn't going to be the same as it was." "You're bluffing," says Zikor. "Nothing's changed." "Then allow me to show you," says Vegeta, as Vegeta then begins to transform ever so. As he's doing this, Zikor went along to turn his head and noticing two individuals on top of a cliff, with Zikor asking himself, "More of them? And who are they?" "The bigger one. He's a Saiyan. I sense a deep power hidden within him. I've never seen him before, but somehow his power feels familiar to me. More cattle to be slaughtered. And the other, these warriors are not from this planet." With Vegeta then transforming back into Super Saiyan 4, he then addresses Zikor by telling him, "Now then, I hope you're ready to finally meet your end, because this will not be as easy as you thought it was before. Now what's it going to be?" With Zikor responding and sticking his hand out by telling Vegeta, "You are no threat to me, Vegeta." But that's when Vegeta went along to teleport right behind Zikor and telling him, "I wouldn't be so cocky if I were you." How did he just, as Vegeta proceeded to kick Zikor right across
Yo,
the
Super
neck
Saiyan,
by
I put the
telling
room
him,
key for
"It
you.
would
You wanna
be in your
join?
best
You got
interest
2
if you
minutes.
paid attention and fight me using everything you have." And with Zikor
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay live for too much longer. So if you want to join, get a match in. Nah, it's all good. You got Gohan. So should we play another match or should we wait for you Super Saiyan? In the meantime, you guys grab a drink, please wash and do what you gotta do. Don't wait for this guy. That's great, Matt. Just hit S1. I'm halfway, so maybe 2 more games for me. I should hit S2. I'm still at C3. Joki's at B5. If we get 2 wins, we should all rank up. No, Goku Black, we're just playing as the survivors in later matches. Yeah, we got Super Saiyan in the house. I'll be back, guys.
Attempting to fight back by swinging at Vegeta, he then went along to ask him, "You think this power of yours is going to be the key in defeating me, Vegeta? You tried this before and you lost." As Vegeta then went along to uppercut Zikor by then telling him, "Our battle before means nothing at the face of what's happening now, fool. Did you really think I was going to stand around and wait for you to emerge without training? I was preparing myself for the day you were released, so that I could finally turn your lights off for good after what you've done." And with Vegeta continuously shown beating on Zikor, he then continues, "You are no Saiyan. You are a cheap carbon copy who's living a lie. You could never know the true power of a real Saiyan. We are the embodiment of the Saiyan race, and you are not." Which, interestingly enough, as Vegeta is shown putting a beating on Zikor, Broly is shown observing from the cliff and having to stare down very intensely at this battle, and with Vegeta shown beating on Zikor, he then continues, "You were made in a lab, put together to imitate our people and to use a power that isn't even yours. Not to mention stealing the power of that clown Kakarot nonetheless. I won't be wasting my time in letting you get away with smearing the Saiyan's name, you abomination. You could never understand a warrior spirit, because you weren't there to experience a Saiyan's resolve. There is no scenario where you walk away with your life." As Vegeta proceeds to kick Zikor away, Zikor stumbles on back by having to respond, "Cocky little worm. How did you get this strong within such a short time span?" Invisibly having to cling onto his stomach, as of course Trunks and Krillin were gone, Krillin then went along to ask Trunks, "What do you think, Trunks? I think Father's got the edge over him, but something's off," says Trunks. And with Vegeta attempting to punch Zikor once again, what Zikor followed up by doing was grabbing onto Vegeta's punch by then telling him, "Well played, Vegeta. It looks as though you may have exceeded me temporarily. but you still can't beat me. But Vegeta is not having it, because even as Zikor is shown having to clinch onto Vegeta's fist, what Vegeta does as a retaliatory attack is he ends up sticking out his right arm.
We get one more player, then
blasting
we'll have an
Zikor
official
from
pre-main.
point-blank range by telling him, "I'm tired of listening to you speak. To the afterlife with you, it's over." And because of this, Vegeta had blasted Zikor with what he thought was possibly a strong enough attack that was going to render Zikor obsolete. And with everyone observing, including Pikkon, Pikkon went on to utter, "Something's not right. Vegeta didn't do it." And with Vegeta shown huffing and puffing, he then comments, "Good riddance." But then, through the smoke, we then see how Zikor is slowly stepping out and walking towards Vegeta. Zikor then went along to address Vegeta by telling him, "That attack of yours actually hurts." Well played, Vegeta. I must admit, you've grown much stronger than how you were before, and in such a short time too. However, it was as I had told you can't win. Did you forget that I'm part Saiyan too? I can adapt to my foe just like you, which means my growth is inevitable. Need I remind you again? Goku's blood runs through my body, which means this is not the limit of my power. I am more than just a Saiyan. I am a god, born with the body of a warrior and the power of a deity. Did you actually buy into your own garbage, Saiyan? How pathetic. And with Vegeta looking on, he then went along to ask, how is he not damaged? He was acting as though nothing even happened just now. With Zikor continuing, if Super Saiyan 4 is the best you can do, then you are doomed, Vegeta. Once I kill you, I will then go on to destroy the rest of your friends and family, before finally finding and destroying the worm known as Goku. The only useful thing about your power is that it's only strong enough to keep you alive a little longer than I hoped for. You think this is going to be that easy, Vegeta asks? Of course I do, Zikor responds, as he then proceeds to stick his arms out. Such is my design, Vegeta. I am beyond your Super Saiyan 4. My body cannot be broken, and it will be used to destroy you all by the end. With, of course, Zikor having to pound on his chest, Vegeta follows through by doing the exact same thing by responding, then in that case, I will be the one to smash that body of yours into pieces and
Third
end
are
your
trash
life.
tonight, bro.
Then by all means try, Vegeta, says Zikor, and that's exactly what Vegeta does, because as soon as Vegeta then goes on in attempting to attack Zikor, he then tells him, you're going to regret ever coming to this planet. No, Vegeta, says Zikor, I'm not. As he then backhands Vegeta so hard that Vegeta's body went flying into a nearby mountain, and with Zikor looking on, he then went along to comment, it's been a while since I was able to put this body into good use, and you will no doubt be the perfect warm-up. Now, since you're so eager to die, then let me be the one to make your death wish finally come true. So, what's it going to be, Saiyan? Are you going to kneel before your superior and accept your fate, or do I have to beat the life out of you? And with Vegeta shown exiting a crater, he then went along to respond to Zikor, one lucky shot and you've already assumed that the battle is over? Typical. If you think I'm done, then I must have hit you harder than I thought I did. I'm not finished, not by a long shot. And now that we've skipped the warm-up, let's settle this once and for all. Show me what you can do, and that's exactly what Zikor does, because as soon as Zikor dashes on in, he then goes on to shout, ha, I thought you'd never ask, Vegeta. Before Vegeta ends up doing the exact same thing, as they go on to collide with Vegeta having to miss his punch, Trunks went on to further add, I can sense Dad's energy spike. He has to finish him off now before
Usually I'll let
it's
it go
too late.
until 4 minutes, and if you don't find a
Vegeta
match,
seems
I'll
to be
cancel.
doing what he can out there, but
hopefully
I don't
someone
like
else
the
will
way
connect to another
Zikor is going
server.
about this right now, Trunks. What's he hiding? As of course we then go back to the fight itself, we notice how Vegeta ends up kicking Zikor in the neck as he goes on to tell him, it's only a matter of time before you can only take so much before your body starts to break down on you. As of course Zikor ends up grabbing onto Vegeta's leg, he then responds, that won't work on me again. As he then went on to flip Vegeta forward and slamming his body down onto the ground, Zikor then continues, nothing you do will save you from the beating you have coming, Vegeta. He's killing him out there, Krillin says. Should we help him? With Trunks responding, wait, If we go in there now, we just might get in Father's way. As of course, Zikor is shown continuously stomping down on Vegeta's face over and over and over again. As he does so, Zikor then puts this into question by asking, where did all of that confidence you had a minute ago just go? Giving up already, Saiyan? Is this the best you could do? With Vegeta shown being dragged, he then went on to say to himself, damn him, how does he have this much power left? With of course Zikor approaching, he then went on to tell Vegeta, what a complete waste of time, Vegeta. I told you that this was going to be your
It is getting
fate.
late.
Was I
Everyone's
wrong?
probably gone to bed.
No. Any last words? And as soon as Vegeta ends up lifting his hand up, he then went on to tell him, the only words who are going to be their last are going to be yours. Now die! Big Bang Attack! And as soon as Vegeta fires this Big Bang Attack from the ground, this ends up connecting fully, as of course this was done from a very short distance. As the blast approaches, Zikor went on to say to himself, how does this worm still have this much power left? You think this is going to stop me, Vegeta? You think this is where it ends? And as soon as the Big Bang Attack makes contact, there is a massive explosion shown to where even Broly himself, as of course he is observing this fight, shields himself from the blast and the wind gust created. It's interesting to see how both Broly and Pikkon seem to be observing this, with of course Pikkon
one
also
person,
doing the
7
same
out of 8.
thing. As the dust begins to settle, Pikkon goes on to comment, that won't be enough. With of course Vegeta shown standing on up and assuming that the fight was over, Vegeta then went on to comment, consider it done. That's what you get for thinking you can overtake me. But then, that's when Trunks went on to cry out, Father! He's behind you! As unbeknownst to Vegeta, what Zikor ends up doing is he teleports right behind him and double axe handling Vegeta right across the head by telling him, consider it done. Right, Vegeta? And this completely ends up knocking Vegeta out of Super Saiyan 4, as of course Vegeta then reverts back down to his base form. As he goes tumbling down, Zikor then went on to add, what better way than to knock the so-called Prince of all Saiyans out cold. And as soon as Vegeta ends up dropping on down to the ground, Zikor then stands
Johnny,
over
what's
him
up?
telling him, look at you, eating dirt, just like the last time.
What's up,
What
homie?
did you think was going to change? You surely improved, but
Right
not
now we're
to
just
the
waiting
extent
for,
you needed to destroy me.
a match to
Because
start.
you can't.
Fortunately,
There is
it's not
no
looking
amount of
good.
power you can train for that's going to be enough to kill me. None of you have the power to stop me now. I am beyond your understanding. And since Vegeta is out, the rest of you fools are next on my list. Hey, wait, says Krillin. Trunks, is he talking about us? We have no other choice than to fight him,
It's all
Krillin,
Super Saiyan.
says Trunks. We are all the Earth has left. And with Zikor pointing at them, he then goes on to tell them, the two of you stay right where you are. Once I'm done crushing this fool, you both are next. And don't try running away either. Your speed is child's play compared to mine. So if you bother to run, I will catch you and finish you off on the spot. Now, where were we, dear prince? Let's just see how much punishment your spine can take before it snaps in two. As Zikor then proceeds to stomp down on Vegeta's back, Trunks is not having it because from there, he ends up transforming into a Super Saiyan by charging
No problem,
on him and
homie.
crying out, I won't
Hopefully
let
we
you
find a
kill
match
my
soon and you
father."
enjoy it.
But Zikor quickly moves on
In the meantime, between time, we're watching, the manga.
And how are you planning to stop me
Zikor.
then? With this
This is
and
Goku's,
as soon as Trunks ends up collapsing,
this is a
Zikor
story where
then
Goku had a
continues,
son
"How pathetic. You
with
are
a
even
deity,
worse than your
so this
father
guy's
is." As he then
half
went on to
Saiyan,
grab
half
Vegeta
God.
by the back of the hair and lifting his head up, he then continues, now where were we, sweet prince?
Just waiting for the
That's
next match to
right.
start.
I am going to drag you across this entire planet before ending your life. Come, let's take a ride. And with Trunks powerless to do anything, he went on to say to himself, I can't let him do this to Father. He's the only one we have that can stand up to him. Without Dad, we'll have nobody to help stop this monster from destroying Earth. Damn you, I won't let you get away with this. As he tries to attack Zikor, Zikor went on to grab onto Trunks' throat by asking him, then how will you stop me? What could you possibly
I just
do that
usually
your
put the
father
manga on
couldn't?
when we have a
Nothing,
break
that's what.
while we're waiting
As he
for a
then
match
went
in the
on to
lobby,
headbutt
so
Trunks
it's
right
not
in the
boring.
face. He then continues,
Because you just be
"You
staring
people
here
need to
looking at
face
me,
the truth,
listening to
that there
elevator
is
music.
nothing any of you can do that's going to change the outcome of your
So,
fate. Now stay out of my
when the match
way,
starts, I
you
usually
worm.
pause
As
the manga.
Zikor went on to kick Trunks away, he then continues, your father is the one I'm after, and once he's out of the picture, make no mistake about it, you're next. And be a good little boy and watch from the sidelines as your father dies. And as Vegeta slowly begins to open his eyes and realizing that his son is in trouble, that's when Vegeta goes on to comment, no, Trunks. As he then quickly, out of pure rage, ends up powering right back up to Super Saiyan 4, he then went on to tell Zikor, I am not finished with you, Zikor. Leave my son out of this. With Zikor responding, where is he getting this power from? You were finished. As Vegeta went on to then punch Zikor
This isn't
away,
even my
he
manga.
then
This is a
responded,
person
I am tired
who
of
made
playing these
this manga. I'm
games.
watching his channel called
This
Unreal
is where
Ed
you
Gaming.
die. Once and for
So
all.
yeah, this isn't
As
even me
Zikor
narrating.
hits the floor,
We're just
Vegeta
watching
goes
someone
on
else.
to ready himself in unleashing a massive attack
Someone else's
by telling
video.
Zikor, this next attack will be my all. Everything I have. As Zikor goes on to stand up, visibly angry, he then asks, is that so? Do your worst, with Vegeta responding, oh, I will. This next attack will rip you to pieces. Good luck surviving this one. What's this spike of power, Zikor asks. Now disappear, Vegeta cries.
Do we have it?
Gamma Burst Flash! And as soon as Vegeta winds up firing this attack at Zikor, Zikor, instead of having to move away, ends up
We found a
guarding
match.
himself and responding, your final attack then? I will prove to you that even your most powerful attack still won't be enough to take me down. And with Vegeta's gigantic attack having to then consume Zikor whole, Pikkon then went on to comment, oh,
Alright, next
what a
match is starting in
massive
about 2
attack!
minutes.
Who knew Vegeta would have had this much power still remaining? And with Vegeta standing with his arms out, he then went on to comment, that should be enough. There is
real, it's
no
about
way
time,
he
bro.
could have survived that.
Broly.
Not without at least taking massive amounts of damage.
Soft. We
I
got this.
can't feel his ki. Is it over? Wait. No. I can still feel something there. And through the smoke, we get to then observe how Zikor is in fact still shown standing there, as Zikor went on to comment, Vegeta, you dirty disgrace of a warrior. That attack of yours actually hurt. But I'm not dead yet. Not yet, Vegeta. There's just no way, Vegeta says. How? How are you able to survive that attack?
No,
Zikor
just go on
responding,
YouTube and just
"How?
type in
Because
Dragon
I
Ball
am
Z
the ultimate
fan
life
mangas,
form.
and you can
thank
find a whole bunch of
Goku
different
for his
fan mangas.
genetics and giving me the
This one is
perfect
the
body
Zikor.
to work with. I'm sure you wouldn't happen to know where he might be, but I'll find him one way or another once I'm done here.
Zikor
Vegeta
complete
goes on
story?
to ask, how am I supposed to kill this bastard if his body can't seem to break? With Zikor then telling Vegeta, my turn now. And as soon as Zikor dashes on in, he then went on to tell Vegeta, you should have finished me off when you had the chance. I can promise that you won't have another one. And with Zikor punching Vegeta in the face, he then continues, remember, I can adapt just like you. As part
stream
Saiyan, I
froze,
can
guys.
learn from these moments of danger and adjust accordingly to my opponent. I know all about your rage boost, Vegeta, and it won't work on me.
Well, we got into a match, but my computer froze. Nothing's showing up. Oh, we're back. All right, we're back. You can't hear nothing? Give me a second. Every so often run into some technical difficulties. Well, I got a power key radar level 3. So I'm gonna try to find all the keys real quick, guys. Yeah, I enjoy breakers. Check out some footage on my previous lives. Okay, he's gonna camp that way. He's gonna go camp the body. We lost player. Get all the keys though. Pretty fun, Johnny. It's on sale right now if you have PlayStation. I think it's on sale right now for $5. Shit. Got cooked. All right, see you later, man. Good night. Appreciate you dropping by. See you tomorrow.
I owe you one.
You got me, guys. Oh no, he didn't.
Flying Nimbus!
Super Saiyan, thanks for those sensu beans, fam. Gonna run to the time machine last minute. Yo, Mac. Go on if you're still here. Alright, good job, guys. Time machine.
Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. I'll send some supplies to help.
Bro, look how long it took this guy to drop the supplies.
Guys, stay on the time machine. Stay on the time machine.
Now I need your help. Don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Does the end, guys.
Let's rank up.
You did good job, Super Saiyan. The Senzu Beans came clutch for me at the end. Good job, guys. Yeah, Super Saiyan, Goku, Gohan, Mac, Ive, Squad.
This time, and with Vegeta literally being shown beaten, he went on to then say to himself, "There's no use."
Computer froze right in the
He
beginning
keeps
of the
coming
match.
back
So
as though he
embarrassing.
is some kind of a machine.
Think so.
I'm not sure how long I can go. It's like he's getting stronger by the minute. His attacks are much heavier than they were a little while ago, because although Zikor had delivered a bone-rattling shot to Vegeta's stomach, he then further went along to get behind Vegeta and grabbing onto his tail by then asking, "You think I wouldn't know about this? The source of a Saiyan's power, is that right? Let's swing it on over on this side then." As Zikor went along to swing Vegeta forward, he went on to slam Vegeta
Yeah, he
on
was
his
camping
back.
the body.
With, of course, Vegeta shown in pain, he went on to then say to himself, "Damn, it's no use. I needed more time to train.
It happens.
He's too much." It's as though he's not even taking this fight seriously. And with Zikor shown lifting up his leg, he then
Is everyone back in the lobby?
telling him, "This fight is over. It
says it's waiting for all players to return to game.
God." As he further went on to then stomp down directly on Vegeta's face, Zikor then comments, "Yeah, that feels about right. Just what I love to see. This is how I remembered it to be from before. How about you? Do you remember?" As Zikor just keeps on stomping down on Vegeta's face, he then continues, "I think I'm going to continue to kick your face in until your brains are all over the floor. I'll welcome my father to a wonderful red carpet after I drag him from the afterlife. Keep resisting all you want," says Zikor. "It's only a matter of time before you stop breathing, Vegeta." As he then continues to stomp down over and over and over again, Krillin is left observing as he then went on to say to himself, "Forget it. I can't just sit around and watch him do this to Vegeta. I have to try
That was a
and do
record time,
something."
bro.
"Hey!
34
leave him alone,"
seconds.
says Krillin. As he tries jumping on in, what Zikor ends up doing is he so casually backhands Krillin away by telling him, "Wait your turn, weakling." And with Krillin shown having to land right next to Trunks, Zikor is in full control over this battle because he incapacitated Trunks, he knocked Krillin away, and now the strongest fighter arguably on the battlefield is getting his brain stomped out. And as he does so, Zikor just keeps on kicking Vegeta's head in over and over until Vegeta powers right back down to base form yet again, and as he does with Zikor shown stomping on down, Zikor then went on to comment, "And just like that, this fight is done. I feel guilty for not getting rid of you sooner. I guess you talked yourself up into getting me interested in this new power of yours you kept bragging about. And now look, you are finished. There's nothing left you can do to stand in my way. I am going to end you the way you should have been ended when I first landed on this cursed rock. Death was already at your doorstep. Kame." And as soon as Zikor
just have to key rush him, leave him at level 2, and we just beat him up at the time machine.
He only then continues to pour in more of his energy into this attack as he continues to charge it, but then, unbeknownst to everyone, out of nowhere, Broly ends up saving the day by showing up just in the nick of time by kicking Zikor into the distance and having to free himself from Vegeta. And as Zikor lands on his feet, he then goes on to ask, "What was that just now?"
I don't know, bro.
"It couldn't have been Vegeta." But of course. So Zikor
Yeah, we
now
can jump.
knows,
Yeah, we can
as
jump.
only then we get to see, how Super Saiyan Broly is standing in defense for Vegeta, as of course he's on the ground, he's unconscious, and with Broly slowly turning back and having to acknowledge Vegeta being on the ground, he further went on to address Vegeta by telling him, "You are my prey to destroy, Vegeta, and I will not let someone take that away from me. I was..."
Can you hear me? It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Someone! You're a big help.
Welcome. Thank you.
You guys trying to fight him? Everyone get their cubes up.
Where am I? You be careful too, okay?
Oh, too late. Not too late. He doesn't know how to get back to the egg. Maybe he needs one more survivor. A civilian. Let's jump in.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Ow! Here comes a pain!
We were too late, bro.
You found a power key. Go slot it.
Mac, we tried.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out
Special
for
beam,
enemies.
yeah, bro. I took my special beam cannon off. I put on Vidal's Justice Rush or Justice something.
Flying Nimbus!
Great! You know what to do with that key.
Welcome.
Then I got killed.
Holy hell.
Caught me slipping.
I owe you one.
There's some civilians around here too.
Where am I?
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Thanks.
There's a Dragon Ball in the water somewhere. Nah, you got it good.
Welcome. Oh,
Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Goku and Mac, you guys have the Dragon Balls.
Thanks.
That's a new power key. Place it now. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. You've got all 7 Dragon Balls. Summon Shinron at the altar. Flying Nimbus! Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Bro. I was just trying to get to A, bro. Well, summon.
Flying Nimbus!
And everyone's trying to find a cave.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Down. Keep your ass in this. This cloud takes so long to rise.
Understood.
AQ.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Here comes the pain.
I hope that was the right.
Stay calm. Stay calm. You bastard. Oh man.
Shout out Super Saiyan! Got the heck out of there! Straight to the vending machine. Ah, that's not one I need. We still have to find that A key though.
Flying Nimbus!
Found it.
You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick.
Oh, our location is compromised.
The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there now. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're
Bro,
going
I don't know why you left the
I'll send
cave.
some supplies to help. Make good use of them.
Oh, you're in this cave. I don't know how you got killed in here. It looks like it's an escape time machine flex.
Get up!
I owe you one.
So tread carefully if you want to get closer. The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
Did we lose the Dragon Ball?
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Here comes the pain. You.
Bro, there's no hope.
You bastard.
No sense to be this time. Mac, you've been dead. It's all good, Super Saiyan. The shit froze. Hold on, let me try to fix it. Let me see if this is gonna work.
Promised to fight Kakarot once this Saiyan
Watch
is
him on
dead,
the meantime.
and that's exactly what I intend to happen. And with Zikor having to look on, he then went on to comment, "Ah yes, the Saiyan my mother told me about. The one of legend, Broly, is it? Now I see. So, they must have brought him back
waiting
to
for Goku
life
to come back.
somehow." What's he planning?
else
With
is
Broly shown reaching on down, he then went on to grab Vegeta by the neck by telling him, "I could snap your neck and kill you right now, Vegeta. You are pathetic." So in the meantime, as he then went on to lift him up, he then tells him, "I want you to remember that once he's dead, you'll be the next to follow. I still haven't forgotten what you did to me." And with Krillin and Trunks sitting on up, that's when Krillin went on to tell Trunks, "Oh no, Trunks, Broly looks like he's going to kill Vegeta. This is not good. Whose side is he even on?" With Trunks responding, "Wait, no. Look, Krillin," with Broly responding, "You will watch from the sidelines. If you get in my way in this fight, I'll kill you before I kill him. Now get out of my face." As he then went on to toss Vegeta directly in Trunks and Krillin's direction, he then went on to tell them, "Do what you will with him, but keep him around. Once this fight is over, he will be my next target, along with the rest of you. I am not doing this for any of you. I am doing this only because I want my fight with Kakarot." And as soon as Broly then goes on to address Zikor, he then went on to ask, "A hybrid, huh? You are nothing. I will show you true power." As only then, Madrid ends up making a surprise entrance by having to tell everyone, "Heads up everyone, I finally made it. I got something for us. I grabbed these from Korin. Give Vegeta a sensu beam fast while he's still breathing. And with Zikor visibly angry, he then went on to address Broly by telling him, "You think your outdated power is going to make a difference in this battle? I'll have no problem sending you back into the afterlife. Goku is mine to destroy, not you." With Broly responding, Kakarot was destined to die by my hands and my hands only. And I won't let some carbon copy get in the way of killing him. Nothing will stop me from getting my revenge on him, and as soon as Broly charges on in, he then went on to tackle Zikor by having to use his body as a battering ram, but then, as soon as Zikor ends up countering by uppercutting Broly in the face, he then went on to tell him, "You honestly think you have enough power to stop me? And what exactly are you hoping the outcome will be?" But Broly's not having it, because from there, he went on to grab Zikor by the face and pushing him further back out by crying out, "Die!" With everyone else shown having to eat their sensu beans, Krillin then went on to comment, "I don't think we can thank you enough, Majub. But for a minute, I thought we were going to die out there," with Vegeta chiming in, "Broly will die out there if this goes on. He's acting on instinct, but he doesn't have the power to finish it. I felt something much deeper within Zikor as he attacked me. This is not going to be as easy as we thought, and from my understanding, it looks as though this is only his base form. Damn it, Broly's fighting a losing battle here. This freak isn't like anyone we faced before. It's like he knows what we're about to do before we do it." With Trunks asking, "But if you and Broly can't do it, then what can we do, Dad?" As Majub also chimes in, "Well, we can't just sit here then and let him kill Broly. He may not fully be on our side, but we still need him. The hell with this. I'm not just going to sit here and let that bastard tear us apart one by one. We have to try something, even if it means nothing. We have to try." And right before Majub can go on ahead and make his move, Vegeta went along to stop Majub by telling him, "Don't be foolish. He'd kill you within seconds. You'd only make matters worse. Stand down and wait. None of you have the ability to make a change in this fight, which is why you'd need to be our support unit instead. If you go in, you'll die. I want to see if Broly can expose anything that we can take advantage of. I'll rejoin the fight at the right moment, but in the meantime, you will all stay where you are." With Krillin responding, "Are you sure? What if he can't do it alone? There's no telling what Zikor is hiding or planning, but we trust you." As over out into the distance, we get to see how Broly is literally dragging Zikor through the landscape as Trunks went on to ask, "Are you guys seeing this? This doesn't look good. They'll destroy the Earth if this continues." But I think Broly is pushing him back, as indeed he is, and with Broly shown pushing Zikor back, he then went on to cry out, "Kakarot is mine! Die!" And as soon as Zikor is able to counter, he then went on to tell Broly, "You are really starting to annoy me, Saiyan." As Broly attempts to attack Zikor each and every single time he finds an opportunity to, that's when Zikor went on to mock Broly by telling him, "Look at you. You can't even touch me. You call yourself a Saiyan? I don't see what's so legendary about you. Another waste of time." So this was something that Broly had in mind in finishing off Zikor to complete the promise made in having Goku be the one to come back and fighting Broly. And as Broly kept on attacking Zikor, that's when Zikor went along ahead to grab onto Broly's punch by telling him, "If this is the best you can do, then you're just wasting my time, Saiyan." And with Broly taken back, Zikor then went on to tell him, "Now, it's my turn." "Father, do you feel that?" Trunks says. "Broly's power. His energy is beginning to drop at a rapid pace," says Vegeta. Zikor's in control, and Zikor is, because from there, Broly's body comes flying out through the other side of the mountain as he then went on to land right in front of everyone. That's when Krillin even went on to comment, "Hey look! I never thought I'd ever see the day where Broly would get manhandled like this. This is not good, guys," because nobody ever expected for Broly to get put in his place this quickly by Zikor, and with, of course, Vegeta having to observe, he then comments, "Damn it, even Broly? It's as though he was swatted like a fly. Hey, can you still fight? Get up." And that's exactly what Broly does, because even though Broly is
guys. Get his W. We're going back soon. On power key radar. Go for nothing down here in A. My sensu bean. Yo, you guys run. He's coming this way. But there's nowhere to run. We're trapped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I was trapped.
People saying there's a drink there. Oh, game froze again.
Good night, Mac. See you later.
Waiting. You bet now.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now. If you stayed this long, I'd like to say thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to Mac, Super Saiyan, Gohan, Ive, Joku. Appreciate it, guys. Probably stream again tomorrow. With that being said, have a good night. Peace. Very Super Saiyan.